All right, with that, you guys want to kick off the 4-minute hut?
4-minute hut.
The what?
The 4-minute hut.
The what?
4-minute hut.
All right. Okay, we got the 4-minute hut. Now, 4-minute hut is our signature series or signature segment, really. And it's basically just a topic discussion. It is going to take over 4 minutes. I'm going to tell you that from the gate.
Maybe 5. Might go over 5 minutes.
It just sounds so funny to say 4-minute hut.
There you go.
4-minute what?
4-minute hut.
All right. Well, today we're going to do a little thing on all the first-round wide receivers that were drafted over the last 2 years. So we're talking basically, I guess it would be Watkins to Devontae Parker. Those first round. Well, 2 of them from the gate. We got Kevin White, who went to West Virginia and was drafted by the Bears in the first round. He really made a name for himself in the combine, but was put right on IR when he got a stress fracture to his shin. Yeah. And then Brashad Perryman of the Ravens, who went to UCF, was also put on IR, and these guys didn't play in 1 game.
Yeah, I grabbed him late. I think he was fantasy? My last pick. Perriman. I grabbed him.
Well, I took somebody on this list and ended up trading him away. I had Aguilar, but
don't you get to keep him in the keeper league because
I'm not
you
in the keeper league. Yeah, if you want. Well, I don't know. It's the specifics of the league, but generally in keeper leagues, you're allowed to keep X amount of players, not all.
Only
of them.
one. Yeah, we're only allowed to keep 1, but you have to draft that player.
Oh, not acquire him from the trade.
Yeah, you can't acquire from the trade.
I was never in a keeper league.
Oh yeah. Well, unless they amend rules and things, but usually you have to. And not only that, you have to give up 2 rounds before. So if you got him in the 13th, you have to take him in the 11th.
And before we really
it makes you think, and then especially for years going on, it makes you think, oh shoot, who's gonna be the new wide receiver? Who's gonna be up and coming? It makes you think 2 to 3 years ahead of time. So if anything, it actually, this league I'm in now has prepared me for this podcast. So thanks, guys.
Now I was in a I don't know. I've never been in a keeper league before until last year, but the way mine works is just I don't think it matters if you drafted the guy or whether or not you acquired him via trade.
As long as he's on your roster at the end of the year.
As long as he's on your roster at the end of the year, you can keep up to 2 guys, or you can keep 1, or you can keep none.
Wow, I want to get in your league because I will run gamut.
But good plug for the fantasy football league. We're going to be having more details to come.
Yes.
Now, I almost made this for the past 3 years just to throw in this one dude, D-Hop, DeAndre Hopkins, right out there in
He's
Houston.
One of my keepers.
But he can't be on this list because he was drafted 3 years ago. Last 2 years ago. So we're talking like Odell Beckham, Calvin Benjamin, Mike Evans, Sammy Watkins, Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper, Philip Dorsett, Devontae Parker, and your boy, Nelson Aguilar. Now, I'm sorry. Okay, now let's really, the top names performance on this list. Now, Odell Beckham, okay? Yeah. And who is the next one? Who's it? Is it Benjamin? I mean, Benjamin was on IR this year, but in his rookie year out of Florida State, 73 receptions, 1,008 yards with 9 CDs. Now, real quick, Beckham's numbers: 187, 2,755 yards, and 25 touchdowns. Rookie of the year. That's for 2 years, though.
The way I would give it is this. If I'm just looking at this, I'll give you my top 5. Okay, 1, I'll give you your OBJ right now. Sammy Watkins, number 2.
You think? See, I wouldn't put him 2, but you go with your 5.
Oh my goodness! How could you do that?
He has
Tyrod Taylor, and he was just going up there, just grabbing balls.
Well, he has 15 touchdowns. I'm not going to argue with that. He's out of Clemson, and I love Clemson wide receivers.
So in a close second, but have to give third, Mike Evans. And then you got to go Amari Cooper 4 because he was making some moves, but he showed a lot of signs of brightness. And then,
rookie Alabama.
That number 5 one is so hard. I guess you have to throw in Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Cooks, he's definitely did some things coming out of Oregon State. 137 receptions, over 1,600 yards with 12 touchdowns. Who do you think your top 5 of the number 1 wide receivers of the last 2 years?
Well, I can't really see the computer from over here. I heard the names. I don't have them all memorized.
Well, here I'll give you a few. OBJ.
I gotta put
Kelvin
him
Benjamin,
number one.
Mike Evans, Sammy Watkins, Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper, Philip Dorsett, Devontae Parker, and Nelson Aguilar.
Number two, I'll put Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
I think that's where I'd go to.
He didn't have that big of a season last year, at least especially in the beginning of the season. I remember I drafted him last
15
year,
TDs.
expecting him to be bigger than he was, but he's probably my number two. Three, I'll go Amari Cooper. Four, probably Kelvin Benjamin, and then five, I'll say probably Brandon Cooks.
See, now, I pretty much agreed with that order until you got to the last two. I would go OBJ number one. Mike Evans, I'm a little torn on. I mean, when he first came out and Odell Beckham was injured, Mike Evans was lighting it up. Mike Evans was looking like he could be the rookie of the year. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But then, not only did Odell Beckham explode, but Mike Evans also kind of fell off for the second half of his rookie year, and he didn't really put it together in the beginning of his sophomore. I want to give him second, coming straight out of A&M, playing with Manziel, 2,257 yards, 15 TDs. It's hard not to make him second. He's got to be my number two. Now, I would also agree with Sean and put Amari Cooper at number three, but I would have to put Benjamin on my list for his rookie year. If I'm looking solely at his rookie
left
year,
him off because of that year. He had a year off. You have to play football. In order to be evaluated. Yeah, your rookie year, you came out.
He had a really good rookie season.
Exactly.
Though.
But he's coming off of a really bad ACL.
It was the ACL. Was it the first day of camp? Also,
yeah,
it wasn't OTA.
Yeah,
His first day of camp.
He didn't even get to go out on the field and play a game at all. Not even a preseason game. So, I like to see how he comes back from it. Honestly, I would like to be 100% optimistic, but knowing also that my logical side of my brain is kicking in, and it's like, hey, man, that's a serious injury. We'll see. But also,
they say you usually don't come back till that second year back.
Yeah, I wasn't really taking injuries into play when I came up with that top five.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just left him out just because
I think based on pure talent, Kelvin Benjamin's definitely got to be at least in the top three.
Because he's not as fast as the other guys, but his vertical and his reach is just insane.
I know the Eagles were actually looking at him in that draft year.
I know Jameis Winston's mad that he has to play against him 2 times in a year, even though he
has Evans. Winston has Evans.
I know, but imagine if he had both of them.
Now, I know D-Hop's not on this list, but I really think, and now you tell me if I'm crazy or not, but I don't think I'm crazy.
Are you about to say that DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the league?
No, absolutely not. No. But what I am going to say is I think
he's up there.
I think he's like number two, number three, probably, yeah. But for the next decade.
Oh, you were going to say OBJ is the best receiver.
I wasn't going to say anybody's the best receiver. Let me finish. OBJ and D-Hop, do you guys think that they will be the second coming of, say, Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin?
Oh, yeah. Well, they have the signs for it.
That's what I'm saying. I see D-Hop as Michael Irvin and Odell Beckham as Jerry Rice.
Especially now with the league going so pass-heavy right now. Oh, yeah.
See, one thing that the Niners are NFC. Yeah. See, so the Niners, they always had those epic playoff battles. They always had those epic playoff battles with the Cowboys when those two guys were playing. Now, that's not something we're going to see a lot between OBJ and D-Hop unless one of them changes teams because they're in separate conferences. But I really think these guys are going to be the new superstar wide receivers for the next decade. And, Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin were weren't they the first captains for this new Pro Bowl? Yeah. Weren't they the first GMs or whatever?
So,
yeah. That's like a nice little rivalry there. I know, you know what I'm saying? So we won't get to see D-Hop and OBJ matched up against each other as much, but I'm telling you, both these guys are going to the Hall of Fame, and ain't nobody gonna argue with it when that day comes. I guarantee it.
We're talking about third-year players too, fourth-year players. I guess
D-Hop's a third. He'll be coming into his fourth year.
Just to play the devil's advocate.
That's very early in a career.
That's what I'm saying, though. I think these guys are the next generation Irvin and the next generation Rice, because I put Rice on a higher tier than Irvin, but Irvin's right there, just like D-Hop's there.
Here's the deal, and I have to play devil's advocate on your boy, all right? Because, Norman exposed the very ugly side of your boy.
He scored a touchdown in that game, though, to put it into overtime, so I don't really care.
But you know, what I'm saying is he showed that OBJ is a head case. If you get inside his head early in the game, you dictate his pace.
I don't think that's ever going to happen like that again, first of all. Second of all, let's be real here. I mean, Odell Beckham played with Sherman, and Sherman said, "Damn, that boy's good," or I'm paraphrasing something like that.
So exactly.
You know
so you don't think people are going to be, throwing some lines at his way that is going to make him upset? Because that was the big thing from the Panthers game, is that they were calling me names and you were pushing me, and it was like, oh wow. So he was whining and crying on the field, basically. He was throwing. I don't
know. I seen him body slam Norman. You guys can go over to voice.
Yeah, he body slammed him, but you know what? Who was running up and down the sideline like with a pouty face and like trying to yell at people and wouldn't talk to nobody? I'm in timeout. I'm putting myself in timeout and putting my hands on my hip like this.
Norman wasn't acting much better. Like, let's be real.
What are you talking about? He was a little more nonchalant.
I don't know. All right. But if you guys really want to see what I had to say about this, you can go over to voiceofbedlam.com, click that featured articles tab, and somewhere in there, it was an article published by nygiantsrush.com, is, what did I title it? It was long. It was that like week 15? It was like Norman versus Beckham round 1 or something like that.
That was the initial conversation that started this in the works of us working together.
It is, because me and John were basically best friends in 8th grade, and we didn't see each other after 9th grade.
Yeah,
and then I was trash talking Norman on Facebook, and I hadn't heard from John in literally 10 years, and he had to stand up for his boy Norman, so we start arguing all day on Facebook about these two, and that is pretty much
because I was like, I see you got a podcast, why don't you bring me in on an episode? And then it's like, oh, you know how to mix and do things like that? Oh, well, then I guess we're working together. So now, you know what, there you go, we just covered the origins of the Devil John and the podcast, because that guy down there, Mr. Sean Bedlam, would have been here regardless. But if I wasn't such a jerk and an outspoken a-hole,
Yo, dude, I'm not even gonna lie, you were getting me pissed, and like I said, I hadn't talked to him in 10 years, so I'm sitting there am I gonna curse this dude out? I don't even know. I haven't seen him. I think we're boys, but I'm I might have to curse him out.
Where's this dude coming from?
No, I just like to open up my mind to different viewpoints. I try to formulate my own from a little bit of column A and B, because there's one thing I never want to be called, and that is ignorant. Because you can fix ignorant with education.
All right. So do you guys have anything else on our 4-minute hut? I'm definitely going to tell you the bottom part of this league. Devontae Parker at Louisville. He was
Louisville.
It's Louisville.
No, it's Louisville, because the S is silent.
But I like Louisville. I like Louisville.
It's definitely Louisville.
Yeah, I know. I like Louisville.
Yeah. Did you call it the Louisville Slugger, or did you call it the Louisville?
There are plenty of people that say Louisville. I like it when they say Louisville.
I like the Louis. Hey, I remember Joe Louis.
All right, but anyway, he had less than 500 yards, 3 TDs, only 26 receptions. That's Devontae Parker. Now, Nelson Aguilar out of USC. I mean, now, not Steve Smith from the Carolina Panthers, but has there ever been a good receiver out of USC besides Steve Smith and the New York Giants, who had a very short-lived career? Does USC ever put out quality wide receivers? They're not a team known for wide receivers.
I can't remember, because then not only that, because of the Reggie Bush stuff, with their sanctions and stuff. Now they're just starting to get those lifted. So they didn't really have they lost prospects, they lost chances at getting top prospects in the wide receiver game. So and their leaders over there in Seattle coaching the Seahawks now. So.
And another guy that seems to be, I'm not going to call him a bust, it was only his rookie year, but another guy that seems to not be living up to the first round hype would be Philip Dorsett, former Hurricane. He only had 18 receptions, 225 yards, and a TD.
The U.
The U. I don't know if the U really wants to brag on Dorsett right now, though, playing for the Colts. Maybe he'll mature. But the Colts just had a terrible year.
Yeah, they just had a terrible run of, luck.
Oh.
I get it. I see what you did there.
Oh.
I made a bunny. But no, I think honestly though, I think Andrew Luck's going to bounce back this year. After because when he hit his, I wouldn't like to say a rock bottom, but he hit a it's pretty low to the rock bottom though. Because if
kidney laceration or something crazy like that,
exactly. You know what I mean? Like, so to come back after that and everything, I hope he does, well, because I know a lot of people that gambled on him in fantasy, and obviously I don't want them to, prosper over me or anything, but I would like to see Andrew Luck kind of get a chance at it because I like his beard.
You like the beardsman.
I like the beard. And
we got to get a beard sponsor.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try. I'm still white trashy in the sides here, so it doesn't fully connect. But I'll try. All right, and I have good hairstylists, so I think we'll work on that.
All right. Well, before we close up the show, let me tell you guys, we were supposed to have a guest on tonight. It looks like they're going to have to reschedule. But one thing we have confirmed, John Schmelk of Giants.com, working for the New York Giants.
The actual Giants.
Yes. He'll be coming on our show as a guest on Thursday. So that'll be a lot of Giants talk. But, John knows the whole NFL, but we're really going to get into him just about the NFC East in general. So if you guys want a nice little NFC East preview with John Schmelk, and the voice of Bedlam, you guys got to make sure you're listening to next Thursday's podcast. Now, also, we're going to be plugging this for a long time. Sometime in August, we will be doing a live show at the location of Mother's Bar and Grill in the Circle in Easton. So come on out. We're going to be letting people from the bar come on up and hang out on the show. We're going to be doing the fantasy football drafts there probably. So it's going to be a really good time whenever that date is set. And also, remember, check us out. YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, with even more to come. We're going to be posting stuff every Tuesday and Thursday. YouTube's not usually ready till Wednesday and Friday, but please subscribe, leave us comments, tell your friends. And if you want to advertise on this podcast, just like K and N air filters, Reputation Resolve, and Angels Friendly Getaways, email staff at voiceofbedlam.com. We're going to get out of here for today. You guys got anything before we get out?
I just want to touch upon those people that, took the time to look into us for advertising. Make sure you check out angelsfriendlygetaways.com for that nice sports or concert getaway. Remember, he's going to get you hooked up all the way around where you can sleep, get around, and go to the event.
He's also looking for employees, by the way. So if you want to work with him.
Yeah, exactly. You're a personable person, and you can talk, and you can make deals and help people have a good vacation with no worries. Make sure you hit him up, 716-980-5727. Also, K&N Filters. They work on all models, so why not? Take the oil changes into your own hands. Get the tools, obviously, that you need. Don't be a fool. Always use safety and precaution. If you don't know what you're doing, check out a YouTube video or something, all right?
That's knfilters.com/podcast. You'll get a nice deal, a hat, free shipping. So make sure you head over there. And what was our last sponsor for today?
Our last one of the day is
Reputation,
the Reputation Resolve. So make sure you hit them up so that you can advance your business online.
All right, guys. For John and Sean, I'm Andrew Bedlam. Thanks for downloading. We're out of here. All right, how's everybody doing out there today? Thanks for tuning in to this special edition Voice of Bedlam podcast. If you want to take that next jump with your business or company, you need to come over and advertise on the Voice of Bedlam podcast. Get your ad heard by thousands on a reoccurring basis. Just click buy now and send us your info. Thanks a lot, guys.